Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Drafting Delusions NASCAR podcast, the world's greatest NASCAR podcast. I'm your host, Evan, and that is Jake, and this is episode number 5. This week we are at Sonoma Motor Speedway with SVG winning.
Yeah, Sonoma, this race was important for a couple of reasons. The first one being it was the last road course on the schedule. And me personally, I could not be more thankful. I really do not like road courses. What do you think, Evan, about the road courses?
I want to see them go fast and left. The road, I don't know. I don't want to see them go right. I want to see 200 miles an hour. Well, not 200, but 190. Yeah.
I definitely prefer the ovals. Like it's just kind of boring for the road courses. You see them taking these right turns at like 45 miles an hour, like we're on some residential roads. We need the speed. We have a need for
Yep.
speed. We have a need for some crashes, high speed crashes, and the road courses just don't have it. So Sonoma, the last road course on the schedule, thankfully. And also it was the first race on TNT this season, and I don't like it. I don't like
I
TNT.
don't either. What do you think about the new leaderboard layout with the colors and everything?
It just looks weird. It looks out of place, and I don't like it. I think Prime did a much better job, not only on the visual front, but also the auditory front with the commentators. Dale Jr. was a whole lot better than Marty Smith. I mean, Marty Smith not bad. He's been at ESPN for a very long time, transferring over to TNT to commentate some NASCAR, but it's just not the same. I
Yep.
think
I
Prime should have it full
agree.
time.
Yep, 100%. That would be awesome. All you need is one subscription. You can watch it all year long on one place.
Exactly. That's how it should be, but corporate America strikes again.
Yep.
Anyway, you mentioned it earlier. SVG picked up the win. Your guy Chase Briscoe was very close. Any thoughts on how
I
Chase
think
Briscoe could have stolen that one?
Briscoe should have spun him out
Mm,
on one of the last turns. We don't need another SVG win. SVG is just he's annoying. I don't know. Every time there's a road course, you don't get to root for any other driver because you know who's going to win, and it's just not fun.
yeah, it was definitely expected, and he was my pick. Last week I said SVG was going to win, and that's my second correct pick of the podcast so far. I'm 2 for 5. The other one was predicting Denny at Pocono. Two very easy picks, to be fair. But Evan, you know who has zero correct picks?
Who?
It's you. You have no correct picks.
You know who has some optimism? Me.
You know, it's fair. You do have some whimsy picking the drivers that you want to win instead of the obvious choice like
Yeah,
SVG.
it's no fun. You want to pick your drivers. You want to see your drivers do good, but no. SVG's gonna win.
But I was right. I mean, it was the obvious choice, though. That is his seventh road course victory in the last 9 road course races. His eighth road course win all time, which ties him with Tony Stewart for the second most all time. Evan, do you know who has the most road course wins all time with 9?
My best guess would be Jeff Gordon.
That is correct. Jeff Gordon has 9 all time road course wins. He had a few at Watkins Glen and a few at it was either Sonoma or Pocono, one of the two. It was only 2 tracks though. Shane Van Gisbergen, however, is winning at a wider variety of tracks, and it's only his second full-time Cup Series season. So, do you think, with SVG's track record so far in just 2 seasons, is he the greatest road course racer in NASCAR history?
No. Um, I don't like him.
You don't like him.
Um, no.
But the fact that he's doing this so quickly, he's already tied for second place, and the winning percentage that he has is unmatched compared to any other driver. That doesn't put him at the upper echelon of road course racing,
It puts him up there.
but not all the way up there because you have
Not
him.
all the way to the
Okay.
top.
But like, imagine if SVG was like Connor Zilich's age. Connor Zilich, another very good road course racer in the O'Reilly series. Maybe he'll get to SVG rank one day. But SVG is 37. So
37. He
yeah,
doesn't have much longer.
he does not have much longer. So it maybe he'll fall off here soon after he gets his like 21st road course victory by the time he's 40 or what.
I, I hope not.
Yeah. We'll see, but importantly for SVG, this win now bumps him up to 14th in the standings. He fell out of playoff positioning last week. He's back up there now. He really needed it. If he had a bad race this week at Sonoma, it would have been over for him because, like we said, it was the last road course on the schedule. But with 8 ovals left in the regular season and only 36 points above the cut line, do you think SVG can hang on?
I don't think he's going to be able to hang on. He's going to have problems on probably every single oval coming up. Um, and there's a lot of talented people behind him that want that spot. And I see him not being able to stay up. What's he, 14th right now?
Correct.
Yeah. I don't see him being able to hold it for 8 races.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. 8 races is a lot. And we saw Tyler Reddick lose his 100 and something point lead in
Mm-hmm.
5 races. And 8 races for 36 points is going to be hard for SVG to hold on to, especially with guys like Eric Jones, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, and even Michael McDowell all hunting to get back into the playoff positioning. So I'd have to agree. I don't think that SVG makes the playoffs, even with his few wins in the road courses this season.
Yep.
But I did mention Tyler Reddick. He came last place at Sonoma because of his car malfunctioning. They weren't able to get it started again. Evan, are you happy
It's a
about that?
great day. It was awesome. That's the position I want to see him in.
Fair enough. But that does mean that Denny Hamlin does take the lead by 1 point. So did we go from bad to
Fine.
worse?
It's
Fine.
fine. It's fine. I hate Tyler Reddick. I
More than Denny
at the moment, yes.
at the moment? Okay. Denny Hamlin, he took the lead on a pretty bad day. He was spun out early in the race by none other than Caution Hocevar. He came 26th in the race, but he was still able to do well enough to take the lead by 1 point. So it's neck and neck, anyone's game. Who do you think ends up taking it?
Between Denny Hamlin and Reddick.
Well, I mean, I guess Blaney is up there. If Blaney can erase a
Oh, everyone.
100,
Um, I probably see it going to Denny by the end of the day, but who knows? Blaney could pull something out of nowhere, but overall, I have a feeling Denny's gonna get it. I don't see Denny Hamlin winning the whole thing after the chase,
hmm,
but
interesting. I do agree with you that I think Denny's going to take it. I think that Tyler Reddick getting last place in this race is a huge hit. I expected him to have a good day at Sonoma, especially because Tyler Reddick is much better historically at road course races than Denny. So losing his points lead at a road course is extremely detrimental to him, especially with only ovals left to go. So I think Denny is going to take that one pretty easily. But I mean, who knows? Ryan Blaney is back 130 something. Ty Gibbs is in fourth. Maybe Ty Gibbs comes out of nowhere, has a generational run, and takes the regular season crown. What would you think about that?
he's not going to. I mean, he can't seem to be consistent at all. He'll have his one race every 10 races that he does top five, but I don't know. I don't see him pulling first.
Ty Gibbs has been very good this year, a surprise to many. Many have been arguing that the stage racing format that we're in NASCAR right now is taking away from the sport. Because Ty Gibbs, I believe he started in first, and many believe that he could have beat SVG if he wasn't racing for stage points. I believe that he swept both stages, if I'm not mistaken, and that obviously not great for his track positioning at the end there. So do you think that this stage racing strategy cost Ty Gibbs that race?
Yeah, I think that the stage format takes away from finishing to the end. Some people are just trying to get good runs in the beginning of the race, and then they can't stick it out the entire race, which kind of defeats the point of a race, in my opinion. You want to be in position at the end after everything that happens, all the strategy. So, yeah, I think it's a hindrance to NASCAR, but they'll never change it again.
Yeah. And I think there are still some guys out there that are fighting just to win. I think Carson Hocevar is one of those guys that has
Hmm.
that mentality that he just wants to win. Ty Gibbs, I don't really fault him for choosing this strategy, right? He already has a win this season. He's looked great so far, and the stage racing is a big reason why he's fourth in the standings right now. Despite his, like, sometimes he doesn't have great finishes, but he's racking up stage points, and that's going to get him in the playoffs. So I don't hate it, but I mean, I would love to see these guys out there fighting to win the race and maybe take down SVG because he wins way too often at these type of races, for sure.
Hmm.
But you said earlier that you didn't think that Denny was going to win the championship. That's been my pick from the start. What was your pick again?
I believe it was Carson Hocevar.
Oh, yeah, it was. Do you still believe
Yes.
that?
He's running good. He's uh, placing second the past two races for the starting grid. I see him being consistent the entire time and being able to pull off maybe another win by the end of the season and be on top of points.
Yeah, if there's anyone that could go on a run like that just due to his aggressiveness, I think it would be him. But really, at this point, Denny took the lead in points. I don't think he's ever going to give that up, even throughout the playoffs. This is Denny's year. It's gotta happen eventually, just for his legacy purpose. So,
It's his
I,
second to last year, too.
right, right, yeah. So I think it's gotta be. I think it's now or never potentially, and everything is pointing to him this season. But Sonoma was also the start of the in-season challenge. The past 2 weeks, we have done some predictions on who we think was going to end up moving on in the in-season challenge. If you didn't see those, go back and watch the last two episodes of our podcast. But we're going to go through and see what you got right and what you got wrong. And Evan, I'm happy to say you did phenomenal. 13
I know I did.
out of 16 correct picks in the first round. Only three wrong predictions. That goes for 81%. That's a B minus, and that's not too bad, considering that
Thank
there
you.
are zero perfect brackets remaining. There were quite a few that did better than you, but not many. So props to
Hmm.
Evan. Performance of the week goes to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll have my speech later.
But your first pick, controversial to some. You picked Bowman over Reddick, and you know
Hmm.
what? It happened. What what
Yep.
what led you to pick Bowman? Just pure
Reddick
hatred?
is trash. He can't race. He sucks. Bowman was going to win that no matter what. I knew it.
You know what you didn't know though? The next one. You said that Keselowski was going to beat Cindric, but that didn't happen. Anything you want to say about that?
Frick Cendric.
Fair enough. And I mean that one was really a toss-up. It was the 16 seed and the 17 seed, so that could have gone either way. But that was only one of the few that you missed, so can't really fault you too much there. And then another upset that you predicted. Todd Gilliland, the 25 seed, beat out Daniel Suarez. How did you do it?
No one likes Suarez. Suarez, terrible racer. And Gilland just comes out of nowhere.
And he did, and he beat Suarez on to the next round. Another correct
Very
prediction.
small amount of reasoning here.
Hey, that's fine. in these type of brackets, that's all it takes. Like in the March Madness brackets, the best brackets are the ones that like someone who has no idea they're picking by which team has prettier colors. So
Hmm.
sometimes the lack of reasoning prevails there. But the next one you got right, Hocevar beat Zane Smith. I think that was pretty obvious that that was going to happen.
Yep.
You correctly predicted Briscoe beating Allmendinger.
Hmm.
You correctly predicted Ty Gibbs beating Austin Dillon.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, you correctly predicted Michael McDowell beating
Hmm.
Bubba Wallace.
Yep.
But I don't think that I was too far off. Okay, I think Bubba Wallace would have beat Michael McDowell if he didn't run off the track for no reason
Yeah.
whatsoever.
You know why he ran off the track for no reason? Because he can't drive a car.
He can drive a car, and that's why
No, he
he's
can't.
currently sitting at 13th, I think, in playoff positioning. He's still,
Not gonna be there for long.
hey, we got some ovals left. Bubba Wallace, notoriously not a great road course racer, much better at the ovals. So I think he'll get in, but unfortunately, he does fall to Michael McDowell this week. But you're on a hot streak. You correctly predicted Chase Elliott over Noah Gragson. That one
Hmm.
wasn't difficult. Then on the other side of the bracket, you got this one wrong. You said Ty Dillon was going to beat Denny Hamlin. That did not end up happening. Denny Hamlin beats his kryptonite in Ty Dillon. Anything you want to say about getting that one wrong?
It happened last year. There was a good chance of it happening this year. And with that spin from Hocevar to Denny Hamlin, it almost happened.
It did, but it didn't. So you got that one wrong. And then, but you did correctly predict Eric Jones over Logano. You correctly predicted Chris Buescher over John Hunter Nemechek.
Hmm.
And the last one you got wrong was Christopher Bell beating Chastain. You said that Chastain was going to win, but I mean, with Christopher Bell's recent injury, I don't hate that pick. I mean, it seemed likely that Bell wasn't going to do well because of that injury. Was that where your head was at when making that decision?
No, but that was a good afterthought. I'll just pretend like that's what I was thinking. But Christopher Bell is a terrible racer, and Chastain prevails over Christopher Bell.
But not at Sonoma. But your pick for the whole thing did move on. William Byron moves on
Hmm.
to the second round, facing Kyle Larson, who you also picked and who also won. Then the matchup of the day really was Shane Van Gisbergen versus Ryan Preece. I talked to you about the Ryan Preece Twitter saga. I love Ryan
Hmm.
Preece. He's
I
probably
do
the
too.
funniest driver in all of NASCAR. If you guys didn't see it, he posted an image before the race. It was Omos. If anyone watches the WWE, he was at a Mexican wrestling event, and there was if you know who Omos is, he's a big man. He's like 7'6", like 400 pounds, massive dude, and he was squaring off against a micro wrestler and SVG's number was on Omas, and Ryan Preece was on the micro wrestler because they were at a road course. And SVG obviously won. And I just love Ryan Preece. I wish he would have won that because
That would have been generational.
it would have been a generational upset. And he's just so funny. Even the commercial, the consumer cellular commercial, one of the few
Hmm.
commercials that makes me laugh. It's just so dumb. He picks up the coffee. And then the girl in the drive-thru is like, "Nice rice." Like, "Thanks, I stole it." I don't know why that's so funny to me, but I love Ryan Preece for his Twitter and all the antics that he gets up to. Is there a funnier driver in NASCAR?
Only the closest one I can think of is Hocevar, but that's about it.
Hocevar did have a pretty funny beef with Kyle Larson this week.
Hmm.
Larson said he's scrolling on social media and he finds one of Carson Hocevar's Twitch streams and says like, "Wow, I'm racing up against a 8-year-old." and Hocevar didn't like that very much. They had a little beef on Twitter, and they sat next to each other at the drivers' meeting for some reason. Who do you think set up the seating chart there? Because they're hating.
I think Hosabar wanted that. I think he asked to sit next to Larson there and make him sweat.
That would be a crazy move. That's something he would do too.
Mm-hmm.
But the last matchup of the first round, you said Blaney over Josh Berry, and that was obviously the case. So 13 out of 16 in the
Mm-hmm.
first round. Great job, Evan.
Thank
But
you.
let's
Thank
see
you.
if you can repeat the same performance next week at Chicagoland. Um, really, not much changed from your original bracket, but we're gonna go through it again real quick just to see if any of your opinions changed here. Bowman versus Cindric.
Uh, probably.
Your initial
What?
pick was Bowman over Keselowski. Does Cindric change anything here?
We're at Chicagoland, so I'm gonna stick with Bowman.
I like it.
Yeah.
The 32 seed moves on. I think Ty Gibbs was what, the 31 seed or 32 seed last year? Something really low,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, good shot of that happening. Maybe history repeats itself. In the last bracket, you picked Hocevar over Gilliland. Is that going to be consistent?
Yes.
And then Briscoe over Ty Gibbs.
Yep.
Are we going Elliott or McDowell?
We'll go with we'll go with Elliott.
Okay, I thought so. I like that. I think we said like whoever makes it out, either Bubba or McDowell was not going to make it past Elliott. So
Yeah.
I like it. Denny or Eric Jones at Chicagoland. I think it would be hard to pick Eric Jones here.
Yeah, but I feel like something's gonna happen to Denny Hamlin where he spins out or he's not gonna make it to the end of the race and Eric Jones is gonna take over.
So are we moving Eric Jones through?
Yeah. Eric
Okay.
Jones in the 43.
I don't hate it really. Denny Hamlin has been very lucky lately, I think. I think at some point his luck has to run out. So maybe Eric Jones takes that from him. Then we got Chris Buescher versus Chris Bell.
I'm gonna go with Busher here
Buescher.
because I don't see Bell being able to. I don't know. Busher's been very consistent this entire season, staying mid pack to high in the leaderboard. So I think he's gonna beat Christopher Bell there.
Yeah, I think Christopher Bell, there's just too much uncertainty with him, so I like that pick. I assume we're moving Byron on over Larson.
Who is he? Yes,
There we go. And then we got Blaney versus SVG.
Blaney.
Blaney, thought so. Just real quick, we'll round out the rest of the bracket. We got Alex Bowman versus Hocevar.
Hosevar.
Yup. Then we got Briscoe versus Chase Elliott.
Briscoe.
Okay. Then we got Eric Jones versus Chris Buescher.
Mr. Busher.
Mr. Buescher. Then we got Willie B versus Ryan Blaney.
Willie B.
Willie B. Then we got Carson Hocevar versus Chase Elliott, or was it Briscoe? Which one do we pick over here?
Briscoe.
Briscoe. Briscoe or Hocevar?
Hosevar.
Thought so. Then we got Chris Buescher versus William Byron.
Willie B.
Willie B. So we got Willie B and Hocevar in the finals. Really the same bracket pretty much as what
Mm-hmm.
we predicted before because you were so good at predicting the first round. So I assume we're gonna have Willie B take it again.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna stick with Willie B to win the in-season challenge. We'll see how good you do next week. See if we can have a little repeat performance of the first round. What do we think? How many do you think you getting right in this round? I think there's
What is there? 8?
eight matchups.
The goal is 7 out of 8, but I think we got 8 out of 8 there.
Okay. in order to match what you did last week, I think if you get six, that would be 75%. So if you get 7 out of 8, that would match it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 7 out of 8, we're gunning for next week at Chicagoland. Evan, do you have a prediction of who's going to win that race?
Chicagoland. Um, I feel like it's going to be a little bit new for everyone since it's been a while since we've been back to Chicagoland. So I think it's up in the air. It's not a normal Denny Hamlin win or Ryan Blaney win or any of the main winners. So I could see some underdogs, but I'm going to be the uh, biased opinion here, and I'm going to say that Kosovar or Briscoe have a really good chance here. And I kind of see Briscoe coming out on top next week.
Chase Briscoe again. How many times have you picked Chase Briscoe? I think that's 3 times at least.
Probably.
The last person to win at Chicagoland, do you know who it was?
Uh, what year was it?
It was 2019.
I don't know.
He was driving the 88
The 88
for
in
Hendrick Motorsports
2019.
Chevrolet in 2019.
I'm drawing a blank here.
It was Alex Bowman all that time ago.
Okay.
The year before, it was Kyle Busch, and then a whole bunch of Martin Truex. But
Yes.
do we think Alex Bowman can be a repeat Chicagoland winner?
I don't see a repeat winner, but I see a winning the bracket
There we
over
go.
Cindric.
Well, I am not gonna take Alex Bowman, obviously. I'm gonna. This is a tough one, like you said, because it's been so long since everyone's been at that track. So it's really anyone's game. But I think I'm gonna give it to Ryan Blaney this week. He's been so good. It's been a little while since he's gotten a win. He has two already this season, so it's kind of weird to say that. But I'm gonna go with Ryan Blaney. You got Chase Briscoe this week, so we'll see what happens. Evan, cue the outro.
Thank you, everyone, for watching the Drafting Delusions NASCAR podcast. I was Evan. That was Jake. We hope to see you next week for our Chicagoland episode 6 of our little podcast series here. We hope to have you back next time and hope to see you subscribe, like. Said that backwards, but that's fine. It's just how we do things here. And we'll see you next week. Peace.